Welcome back to The Vocalist. Today's reaction was actually a request from one of our patrons. So we are listening to the singer Yudai Takenaka, and he is the vocalist of the band Novelbright. I have not heard him or the band before, so here we go.
念願のファーストテイクということで、皆さんの心にしっかり澄み渡るように心を込めて歌います。茜色のこの街眺めてはこんなにもあなたのこと思い出してばかり忘れたいのに今さら素直にはならないわかってるんだよ今も心は泣いてるよ
Hold on. I feel like I have just heard so many artists recently who have gorgeous mixed voice, and I am loving it. When he was first talking, he has kind of like this smoky quality to his voice that I didn't know what to expect when I heard him speaking. So that, in comparison to that clean, crystal clear mixed voice, I just wasn't anticipating that much contrast. The vibrato at the end also got me, so I'm gonna just go back to when he starts singing. Normally, and I don't know how they do it here on the first take, normally you do get a pitch in your headphone whenever you're starting without accompaniment. Nonetheless, his intonation was so beautiful, so here we go.
茜色のこの街眺めてはこんなにもあなたの
You know what? I want to start back at the beginning again. It actually sounds like he's using head voice at the very, very beginning of this. So that's a good sign of someone's dexterity in mixed voice, is that he's got this power now, but when he first started, allowing a little bit more air, a little bit more head resonance to come through, you can see how he's really good at going back and forth between the two, which is all mixed voice is, really. Right, that's such a great example. So that top note was a head dominant mix, and then he transitioned into a chest dominant mix. That vibrato is stunning.
記憶をかき分けた先に滲んだ思い出が待つ
It's such a pure sound. And then we got a little bit of that baritone at the beginning of those phrases. I won't go back because I'm sure something similar will happen in the future of this song. But yeah, right now it's just like the purity of his tone. It's just gorgeous, clean vocal adduction. And there's nothing wrong with having rasp or growl in your sound, but I feel like just the beauty of his tone might be one of like the defining characteristics of his voice. You know, some people are great with riffs, some people do a lot of different textures, and his is just, it's like pristine. That was that little baritone sound.
あなたを知らない世界の方がずっとマシだったと笑ういつしかすれ違う日々の中で本音隠しながら気づかないふりこの街眺めてはこんなにもあなたのこと思い出してばかり忘れたいのに今さら素直にはならないわかってるんだよ今も心は泣いてるよ
This is such a gorgeous song. One thing I'm noticing while he's singing, it almost looks like he sort of tightens his embouchure to prevent spreading. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because I know these videos are always so small when I post the whole video. But let me back it up just a little bit. Look closer to the corners of his mouth. You can almost see like some, not like muscle tension in a bad way, but almost like he's activating the muscles around his mouth to prevent like a wide spread, so it keeps things a little bit more rounded. Right there, you can kind of see it. Oh, one more time.
忘れたいのに今さら素直にはならないわかってるんだよ今も心は泣いてるよ 季節を越えてあなたはまた世界を奪ってゆく感じるぬくもりがそっと私の未来も奪う
That phrase is such a beautiful example, moving from chest into mix. Let me back it up.
奪ってゆく
Forgive me, I don't speak the language, but it sounds like the word so, when he hits that particular sound, that's when he starts transitioning into mix. Be
しくなれる心が欲しいよ
That just went from like 0 to 60 and stayed there. It was like there was just so much that happened. And so much was required of him. Like his breath control. I know you can hear his breath. It's not a bad thing or a good thing. Some singers, if you lift your soft palate high enough and your tongue is low enough, like the air coming through, you don't hear it as often. But also when you have so much intensity in a line, like sometimes you are gasping for breath. I think you fell like very nicely in the middle of that, so that it wasn't a distraction, but also like that it sort of made the whole song like even more passionate, like the text and everything with that audible air. I want to back it up just a little bit. Let's see. The other thing that's striking me about this is he has that gorgeous like sort of balanced sound throughout the entirety of his range. Like as he's singing higher, yes, occasionally he's going into head voice, so that sounds and feels lighter to us, but the tone of his voice, the warmth, the roundness, the balance in his voice, it carries all the way through. So it doesn't sound like any particular part of his voice is, thinning out at the top or like overexerted at the bottom. It's just all very, very well aligned and just, yeah.
凍えそうだよ寂しさ嘆いても
You can hear how well warmed up he is at this point. And I'm sure he warmed up before this, but this is all in one take. So like sometimes you have to like kind of get into a song as high and as high as this is, as small of a sound as he is making. I think this is why we heard a little bit of head voice at the very beginning of the song. Now it has so much more power and he's creating like an even smaller dynamic level. Like it's like magnified and intensified, but like so much smaller.
凍えそうだよ寂しさ嘆いても大好きで大嫌いなあなたはもういない巻き戻してあの日に戻れるのならば伝えたいけど今はもう遅いから赤い色のこの街眺めてはこんなにもあなたのこと思い出したばかり忘れたいのに今さら素直にはならないわかってたんだよずっとあなたを求めてた
I do want to show you that little fry he had at the end there. So this is something I don't think I've mentioned before. I obviously love a good vocal fry, and it's such a great tool. But When you talk about the way your onset, like when you first bring your chords together, everyone sort of does that in a different way, and our chords, behave differently based off of our habits and like the muscles we're engaging. You'll notice that the fry was very small, and it wasn't like it wasn't like a very continuous fry. And I believe the reason for that is he has a very clean onset. Like he just bloop, brings the chords together. And so sometimes when you'll see this a lot actually with classical singers, is that when you are not used to creating those rougher, like raspier, growly sounds. Sorry. I was going to say rasp and growl, and I think I was about to say grasp. I don't know. But anyway, when they're used to that really pristine, clean adduction all the time, it's harder for classical singers to create those fries sometimes. And I feel like because he has such a beautiful, clean, pure tone, that's why it's not the sort of vocal fry we might hear as often in certain contemporary styles. Nope, I missed it. You can hear how it's just very, very faint, and it's still sitting very high, so it matches the rest of his voice beautifully. I feel like I need to go listen to Novelbright now because I'm so curious to hear him sing with the whole group. All I read was that they are a Japanese rock band, so I can definitely picture his voice in that rock genre. Gorgeous, gorgeous mix. Lots of power throughout the entirety of his range, and it's a very clean sound, so I imagine that cuts really well. But yeah, this was a fun one. I won't say anything more, but yes, we will be hearing Novelbright, I imagine. So that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching with me, and hopefully I will see you next time.